This podcast is not a substitute for a relationship with your mental health professional. Hey, family. Welcome back to another episode of the Mental Health is a Lifestyle podcast with your girl, Andrea Wise-Brown. Family. Well, thank you for coming back, family. And to those of you who have not joined the family as of yet, come on, do so today. It doesn't cost you anything, it's free. All you have to do is click this little subscribe button, like the podcast, share the podcast, and I would love for you to put a comment under the podcast. And if you are listening on Spotify, Apple Music, then give us 5 stars because I'm giving you some good stuff. But like I said, I would love for you to comment on the podcast on the YouTube page. Okay? All right. So now we did that. Hey, family, to all of you newcomers and my loyal ones, my loyal family. I am here to check in again another week. And this week, what I want to talk to you about is how to live in alignment, how to live in the flow of your life so that you can ward off a lot of the fight that you believe that you have to fight in order to bring the things into your life that you truly desire. It's not necessarily about a fight. It's not. This is what society teaches us is that you have to fight so hard to get what it is that you want in life. And you really don't. You just should. I'm going to encourage you to get into alignment, to align with what your purpose is, to align with what your purpose is. And once you start to align with your purpose, then you will be getting into the flow of life and you don't have to fight life. And what fighting life looks like is swimming upstream. Family, why are we swimming upstream just to find happiness, just to find a place of peace, just to find contentment, just to find some fulfillment in the workplace, fulfillment in our relationships, fulfillment with in our family system, with our parents? Like, why are we fighting and swimming upstream? Stop swimming upstream, family. I am telling you, stop fighting, let go and float. Float, get into the flow of life. And where the river, the ocean, where it takes you is going to be where you are going to find your peace, where you are going to find your happiness. But you don't have to do all of that work because you're going in the wrong direction. Okay. So, when people talk about getting alignment, let me get in the flow, as I was talking to some clients this past week, this kept coming up. So I was like, okay, you know what, Andrea, I'm going to share this with the family because a lot of my clients were trying to figure out, well, what does that even look like? Like, I don't, I have a job every day and I'm working and because I need to take care of myself. So when you talk about getting in the flow, what are you even talking about, Andrea? And so, of course, I would break it down for whoever I was talking to in regards to whatever dysfunction or pain that they were feeling, because they were in situations that were painful, but yet and still they kept fighting it, swimming upstream, and they was not going anywhere. So could you imagine swimming upstream to get to the job that you want, swimming? Like, where are you going? Because the stream is holding you back. And then you get overwhelmed. Now you're highly anxious. Sometimes you feel hopeless that you can't get there, that you can't find the peace, that you can't find the happiness. When I'm telling you, stop swimming upstream, stop fighting, get in the flow. And so here, we're going to go a different direction. You're going to go a different direction. So what you're going to have to do is just grab onto the bank, hold on to the side, okay? Because you're probably afraid to get in the flow because you don't know where the flow is going to take you. I get it. I understand. You're afraid of the unknown. I get it. Trust me. I understand. I have been there before. And sometimes, I find myself there. But then, Andre, I have to talk myself back out of it into how to relax and let go because there's a current of life that has me. And no matter what goes on, where I am, what I'm in, I am going to be okay because all things are happening for my good. God says so. There you go. God is the flow. Okay, family. So here we go. Trying to find your peace, trying to find happiness in all the different situations. Just come with me. Open your mind and come with me on this. So I'm going to give you some steps as to how you are going to do this thing. All right. So the first step is going to be for you to get quiet. So you stop swimming upstream, stop fighting in your relationships for something that you just can't get and you can't find peace and happiness. Fighting in the workplace because you can't get in this position that you want or find a better position. It's fighting in your friendships because you feel one way and you're defensive and other people. Stop fighting with your finances. You fighting against your finances opposed to opening up and getting in the flow. So let me go back to the steps. Okay. So the first step is going to be to get quiet. You need to hold on to that bank, y'all. Get quiet and ask yourself, what do I even want? So when there's a situation that you're in and you find like it's really causing you a lot of havoc and distress, hold on to the bank and just ask yourself to the side of the river and say, what do I want? Okay. I want you to literally, in doing so, what you may have to do, because if your mind is always racing, because you're like, I ain't got time to sit here and think about this, Andrea, because I got to think about how to fix it, because I want to swim upstream. I'm telling you, no. Sit with yourself. Find some quiet time during the day. I wouldn't care if it was 10, 15 minutes. I wouldn't care if it was just before you go to bed. I wouldn't care if it was when you woke up. I wouldn't care if it was in the bathroom stall or in the workplace, okay? I need you to find some quiet time. And you can even journal. Get you a piece of paper. Get you a little cute book. Or you can just get you some paper and a pen and just write, right? What am I feeling? What do I want? If I can create anything that I desire in life, if I had no fear to ask God, the universe, for what I wanted, if I didn't have any trauma that was telling me that I couldn't do this, that, and the other, what would I order up? What do I want in whatever situation that you are feeling disgruntled or you're feeling like you're experiencing pain? Whatever what do I want in the workplace? What do I want in this relationship? What do I want okay, so once you do that, that's the first step. Get quiet, journal. What is it that I want? Get quiet. Okay, now, family, that you know what you want. The second step is to create some goals. Don't overthink it. Fear is going to pop up in your head. Fear is going to say, you can't do that. Oh, that's too big for you. Oh, how you going to leave the shop? Oh, I didn't ask you to do none of that. Stay with me, family. So the second step is do some goal setting. But your goals are going to be based on your values, because you've already figured out what you want. And what you want is usually aligned with, very close to your values, the things that you value, the things that you hold in high regard. So I'll just give you a quick example of me, let's just say, when I decided that I wanted to become a therapist, or and honestly, it wasn't a therapist that I actually wanted to become. It was an empowerment speaker. So that was the thing. That was my thing, is I knew that when I got quiet and I realized, okay, what is the thing that I do if nobody pays me? I could wake up, go to sleep, like it's no sweat up, like it's the thing that I'm drawn to, that I love to do. And it was always to empower others. I always had a gift to see people, right? And see them where they were, and then to hear and understand where they wanted to be, and then empower them to get there. Like I get visions of them being there, and visions of steps to help them get there. It's a thing that God gave me, and it is just my truth. And so I just knew I always had it before I became a therapist. But when I drilled down, because at the time I didn't really know it, but what I knew is that I love to empower people. So that was the thing, right? If I could do anything that I wanted to do, it would be in front of a whole bunch of people and just empower them to do all the things that they desired in life. Empower them to live the life that they want to live, what is the least amount of chaos as possible. Like, that is my thing. That's who I am. Once I figured that out, now I'm like, okay, so now I need to set some goals. And in me setting the goals, I had to figure, okay, so how is it that I can do this and make it make sense? And a part of me doing that was going to school to learn everything there is about the brain. I need to do everything there is about the brain and human behavior. Now, that was my truth. All right. So take what I'm saying and draw some parallels to you and what you want in your life. And so once I decided, okay, I'm going to go to school, what that did was, what I had to do was, now I had to push through fear. And that's what I'm telling you. Fear is going to pop up here. It's going to pop up. Oh, you can't do that. Oh, you're not smart enough to do that. Because that was my thought at the time, was I wasn't smart enough to go to college. That was for some other girls someplace else, because I came from a working class family in a working class neighborhood. But so that was my thing. Although, I've always been a hustler. So I actually owned a hair salon, you know what I'm saying? And I was licensed. So I did that, but I thought that and going to college was two different things. My ignorance, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was the same thing, right? Apply yourself and you'll win. Graduated the top of my class. However, I had to figure out, okay, where do I want to be? So I have to look up, okay, in 5 years, what do I want to do? Okay, I want to speak in front of people. So how do I do that so that I make sure that the information that I'm giving them is well studied information, that it's research based, that it's science based? Well, okay, Andrea, you can't just talk about your opinions. You can't just whirl around and just be empowering people with your opinions. We ain't doing that. So I knew that I had to face a fear and go to school. All right. So now I have my goals. I'm writing my actionable goals down. So how is it that I still run my salon, still see my clients, because I still need to bring money in, still need to keep the lights and stuff on. And I had a baby at the time. So I still need to make sure that my baby gets to where she needs to be. And, I pride myself on being an amazing mother. So I have to be present in her life. So now I have to structure some goals, get my goals together. What do I want this to look like? Map it out to whatever that thing is that I really want, although I'm still working every day. But as I'm working every day, I'm not in the flow. I'm getting a little blip, because I'm connecting with women that I love. I am inspiring them and empowering them and people in my life. But this ain't it. This is not it. I'm swimming upstream. I'm hustling hard. So it's kind of like, oh, okay. So you set your goals, right? So then when you set your goals, you make them actionable, like I said. So I'm deciding what days that I'm going to go to school, to classes. What classes am I going to take? Who's going to help me with my baby when I'm in classes? What's going to happen at the salon while I'm not there? How do I structure my schedule so that my clients are coming? So setting goals, setting actionable goals with actionable steps. That's exactly what I had to do. Actionable steps. Okay. So now, as I'm working towards it, yeah, sometimes it gets uncomfortable. Yes, sometimes when we are getting in the flow, preparing to get in the flow, right? Preparing to let go of the side of the bank and stop swimming so hard and trusting something different. As we get into the flow, it feels a little uncomfortable. Feels uncomfortable, right? So me trying to learn and pull all these pieces together, yes, it felt uncomfortable. However, it was starting to feel closer to where I was supposed to be. Closer to it, closer to where I was supposed to be. And I'm going to tell you this. And so I'll say this: when I decided that I wasn't living in the flow, I was hustling and swimming upstream. And this lifestyle that I live now was more in the flow. The person that I would always see every day, and I've told y'all this before. If you're family, then you know that I would have Oprah Winfrey on the television every day at the hair salon. At 4 o'clock, she was coming on. And so my goal was, I'm like, I'm going to meet Oprah. Like, I need to get into this thing so I can meet Oprah. Like, something about this own network and Oprah, all those things. So all that was in the lofty goals that I had at first when I was quiet in my mind. Okay, that was step one. All right, so now step two, I have my goals together. Now I'm going to school so that I can learn more about the thing that it is that I want to do. Starting to walk in that direction. I'm starting to let go of the bank, and I'm starting to almost kind of move into the flow, okay, as we're making this analogy of the river, of the ocean, right? But let me tell you about number three. Number three, you have to be consistent. So whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is that you're choosing to do, you need to be consistent. Be consistent with it. You understand? If you commit to it, you be consistent. You show up consistently. You do not have to be perfect. Don't worry about being perfect with anything in life, because nothing is perfect. No, it's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. You just keep going and just keep being consistent. So me going to school and doing all of the things and pulling all the things together, I was being consistent. And I wasn't stopping. And I would add more classes and getting good grades and dean's lists and all, and just being consistent. That's it. Just being consistent helps you position yourself to get in the flow. Sidebar, if you want to even think about that, is just as I sit here now and I'm doing this podcast with you, family, I'm doing this episode. This right here is being consistent. I believe this is the 97th or the 98th episode that I have done while doing this podcast. And let me just tell you something, family. Don't you ever, ever, ever be sidetracked by what other people think. Don't you ever get sidetracked by thinking or caring about what other people think. Because I'm going to tell you something. If I got sidetracked, okay, about what other people think in regards to this podcast, then no one would say it to me, but I would have been in my head about, how many views are on YouTube and how many views is here. I'm going to stop this. But no, 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 no. See, people on the outside don't see everything. So you may not see the viewership on the YouTube, but my listenership, okay, which is where the dollars are, my listenership on podcast is just rising and rising and rising all over the world. But it's because I am consistent, not perfect. Okay. I mean, even with the podcast, I started off with a producer. And then after I did that producer the first 6 weeks, then I started going to a different company. I had to go to a different company for them to kind of do edits. Then I was like, all right, now we 55 weeks in, and okay, I did a year, so maybe it's time for me to just take a break. And then the whole thing about the people around me who love me, who listen, was like, what are you talking about? Like, no, you're gonna have to find another way. Encourage me to go back to what I promised God to do, right? This is what I'm doing, getting in the flow, standing on the stage in front of people, empowering people in my purpose, in alignment. So then I had some good friends who taught me how to do my own edits. They taught me how to do my own edits. I'm like, so I'm paying all this money to this company and all of the things, which I have no regrets for paying for the company. I have no regrets for my producer that did the first 6 episodes. No regrets. I thank God and I'm very grateful for all of them because I needed them. I needed them at the time because I didn't know what I was doing. So, and I'm grateful for my friends who taught me how to do things myself. But I'm telling you this story because I'm trying to let you know that I understand that it's not always perfect. I understand that, that my episodes may not be edited totally perfectly, but if I waited for perfection, I would never have done it. And I want you to think about that in your life. What is holding you back? What are you procrastinating about? Because you are waiting for it to be perfect, for it to line up perfectly before you do it. Stop doing that. There is no such thing as perfection. Except that failure, falling, hitting blips is a part of the journey of finding success. It's a part of the journey. So, getting back to what I'm telling you about is number 3 is just be consistent. So I show up every week. I show up every week until I tell you that I'm going to take a break. Now, if I tell you I'm going to take a break and we're coming off the season, then we're going to take a break. But I ain't told you that yet. So Andrea's going to show up every week. I'm going to be consistent. Do you hear what I say? And my consistency is showing in my podcast numbers. I love it, y'all. Family, you loving it. And I'm loving that you loving it, honey. I am loving that you are loving it. Makes me tingle. Y'all know I like to tingle. Okay, so consistency. Don't worry about perfection. Then number 4, you gotta trust the process. You have to trust the process, meaning don't overthink it. Don't stop because things are not working out right. Don't stop because you can't see past a certain point. You can't see down the river, and so you don't trust really letting go and going with the flow. No, I am telling you that once you do the things you commit to doing, what this is, getting into alignment with what it is that you desire in life, with what your purpose is, you're going to have to make a decision to trust the process. Trust it. Let go and stop overthinking it. And don't care about what other people say, because all the other people who are judging you or maybe talking about you, or you may be afraid that they have these smart things to say, whatever, they ain't doing nothing because they're afraid to do anything but stay stagnant right where they are. So you don't listen to other people. You never know what other people are going through. And I will tell you this, happy people want other people to be happy. Nasty people, judgmental people, people who criticize, they're unhappy. So they want to cause that same unhappy spirit in your life. So I say, ignore them, give them the peace, pray for them, and trust this process. Come on, follow me. Jump on the bandwagon of getting into alignment with what it is that God has for you, for your life's purpose. Ask yourself what lights you up, what energizes you, what makes you happy. Let's go for it. Come on, family, go for it and trust the process. And then number 5, family. This is the last one, but it's a big one. This is synchronicity. Once you, let me tell y'all something. Once you become consistent and then you trust the process, and that's like letting go, and you decide to just float and allow life, I say God, to just take you. Allow life to just take you, because you already have your goals. You got me? And so you're being consistent. You making the steps to where that's all you got to do is keep showing up. Be consistent, not perfect, but consistent. And you are really trusting the process. You are letting go of the sides of the things that was holding you, that you was holding on to for dear life. You are letting go. You trust in the process. Now you will see a lot of synchronicities, and that is how God shows up. That is the alignment. And it is happens when you are in flow. It is the moments when you go, oh my goodness, I could never have imagined this, and it feels good, and I'm not even fighting it. Like, this was so easy, and I'm so happy. I'm gonna give y'all an example. So, of me personally, and I'm gonna give you some of someone else. But here we go, real life stuff. So, hey family, come on over here, because I have something for you. Starting off with a go-to guide for keeping your minds healthy and strong. This right here is the Bible to mental health. It's your mental health Bible. The name of it is 6 Pillars to Power Up Your Mind and Make Mental Health a Lifestyle. Everything that you need to know about keeping your minds healthy and strong is in this go-to guide. Where you get it from? Well, you get it from awisebrown.com/shop. But guess what? You don't have to go anyplace else to look for your aromatherapy, because your girls got you, okay? You can get some aromatherapy here. This is aromatherapy is in this candle. This is called a slice of happiness. It makes me tingle, like literally makes me tingle. A slice of happiness. This is a cruelty-free candle with no parabens, no formaldehyde, and no known suspected carcinogenics. Now, this one smells delicious and it's good for you. Made with essential oils. It's a soy candle. All right, y'all. And I'm a part of you. You're a part of me. We are a family. We got hoodies now, and these are unisex hoodies, and they wear well, they wash well, and they feel so good. So you can wear them over your clothes, you know what I'm saying, and look dope, or you can wear them as your clothes with nothing under them, which I like to do often. And when you travel everywhere, I mean, every time I wear them, I'm moving around. People are always asking me whether I'm traveling, going to the supermarket. What's that? Who's that? And I'm like, mental health is a lifestyle. Because see, this is on the back. Okay? They come in white and they come in black. I'm like, join the family. Mental health is a lifestyle podcast. So there you go. Family, don't you ever say that I ain't give you nothing. You get all of these things from awisebrown.com/shop. All right? I got your goods. I got you. You don't have to go anyplace else. I'll see you on the other side. Was working here at a job in Texas. I was working with the police department, but I was working for MHMR of Tarrant County, and I was working in the police department. So, anywho, one day I'm leaving the police department and I'm going home. I'm literally pulling out of, now, y'all just follow me on this story. Right? All of a sudden, I pull over at a light. I didn't pull over at a light. I'm going to tell the whole story. I was stopped at a light. There we go. Stopped at a light. And when I was stopped at a light, I looked down at my phone and I looked in my email. And as I looked in my email, now I'm telling y'all, I didn't reach out to nobody. Okay. I look in my email. And when I looked in my email, I saw an email from the Oprah Winfrey Network. Producer from the Oprah Winfrey Network. Okay. All right. So I'm like, huh? So this was when I pulled over. So I pull over, and I remember it was Kentucky Fried Chicken that I pulled into the parking lot of the Kentucky Fried Chicken. I can see it now. I can visualize it because it was smelling good. So I pull over, and I open up the email like, are my eyes deceiving me? And oh, no, 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 no. It was a producer that was saying that there was a show on the Oprah Winfrey Network and that they needed a therapist in the area in Texas, and they needed them to come on and be the expert. Well, I couldn't crash my car, y'all, because I had already pulled over and I was parked. But like the Oprah, like all of this that I'm doing now was because of the Oprah Winfrey Network. And the day that I dreamed that I could be on the Oprah Winfrey Network, like I could not have planned it, family. This is what I'm telling you about synchronicity. This is what I'm telling you about God. This is what I'm telling you about being in alignment, going with the flow of life instead of hustling and fighting against the current. Instead of swimming upstream, going against the current, doing what you think you should be doing, go with what you know for sure. Follow that passion because it will bring all things together. That is what being in alignment looks like. So I could not have planned that. There was nothing that I could have done to make that happen. Besides, do these steps that I'm telling you to do today. Get in alignment. Be consistent. Trust the process. And then synchronicity, God shows up. Oh my God. Y'all, I have so many stories. So of course I go on to do that show. And then after doing that show, just for me doing that show, other shows, news people, they started to, there was someone here on the news in Texas was looking for a therapist to come on and do an expert spot. And I didn't reach out to anyone, family, but this is my dream. I need you to get it. It was my dream. It was the thing that I dreamed about when I was in that hair salon, and I felt like this ain't it. There's another purpose that is bigger for me, not for you. Whatever. If this is not for you, this is not. That's why I'm telling you, check yourself. You ain't got to worry about checking me because I'm good. But I am telling you, I could only dream of this years ago. I didn't know I just got in the flow of life. So from that clip that I did with the Oprah Winfrey network, this network is a show on her network. I did that. And from that, then this news reporter finds me. And the news reporter reaches out to me. So now I get another email. Okay. From the news wanting me to be an expert. Because something happened, So from that, I do it. Boom, do it. I'm in alignment. You hear what I say? I'm in flow. Yes. You want to do it? Yep. Let me look at my schedule. I'm going to make it happen. And it all works. It's all in sync. Because whenever you ready to do the recording, you bring the cameras, I'm ready. Okay. Then I do that one. Then I'm called again to do another one. Then I'm called in. I didn't reach out at this point. I didn't reach out to anyone is what I'm trying to tell you. Get in. I could not have planned it. And, I love my friends and a lot of women who I've met on my journey, especially here in Texas. And sometimes they'll ask me, okay, so, so how'd you start doing these spots on TV? I tell them, listen, It wasn't me. They found me because it was God. It was in sync. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. So that's how that, and then that snowballs and more and more and more happens. And there you go. Now I'm a trusted source. Okay. When there's a catastrophe that happens. But okay. You know what, family? I'm going to tell you, there's another one that I want to tell you about. But before I even tell you that one, it just makes me think about some of the women who have been on my podcast and who told stories and told you stories about just synchronicity and getting in flow. It makes me think about Martha, my interview with Martha, who is the what is she? She's the home builder. She does home reconstruction and construction designer, right? How she started off by during the pandemic after losing everything. What she knew that she could do was to clean up. So she would clean up in order to take care of her daughters. And you should go back and watch this episode. So she was doing some house cleaning. And then when she was doing house cleaning, she moved into meeting somebody and they asked her to come clean a building. So she went to clean a building. And while she's in a building, there's a hole in a wall. So what she says is, well, they ask her, can you fix the hole in the wall? She never fixed a hole in the wall before, but she decided she was in flow. So she said, well, if the wall needs to be fixed, it's the middle of the pandemic. This is how I'm feeding my kids. I'm doing that. So I can take on another. And she figured out, she found someone to fix the hole. From that one job of fixing the hole in the wall, this woman became huge. And now she redesigns homes. Okay? Redesign homes for, and gets paid tons and tons of money to do so. In flow, showing up, being consistent in flow. It reminds me of Chanel, who was just on here and told her story about, she has a sales tax company, multi-million-dollar company, started off just being in school, just smart girl, met her husband. He was talking to her about it, something that she knew. Numbers, easy for her. Photographic memory, numbers, easy. She just got in flow, didn't fight it, got in flow. Went from accounting to more number to now look at the in flow, in sync. God just comes and creates just things. So let me give you this last example. This last example just happened to me recently. So one day, my friend called me because she was doing some kind of mentorship. She was doing a mentorship thing. And these were other women who owned businesses, and they were kind of coming because she hosts these events where they come together. So she hosted these events. They came there to this event, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, at the last minute. Now me, I'm in flow, y'all. So I'm talking to my clients all day. This was almost at the end of the day. She texts me and she says, sis, I need you. What you need? Because I'm always gonna be there for my friends. What you need, sis? So she said, I'm meeting with some women later tonight, and I asked them, what did they want the topic of discussion to be? And she said, oh, they said that they want mental health. And she said, so since I know that that's your expertise, would you just come out and kind of just, be here and talk to them about, mental health? And I'm say no more. I don't swim upstream. You feel me? Things get into it. It was in alignment. Absolutely. I get off at this time. What time you need me to be? Oh, no problem. I'm in the flow. Anywho, family, I go there, and as I'm there, I'm talking to the women. I meet some amazing, powerful women. It was a great meeting. But then there was someone else at this meeting who actually was the one who spent money on the event. And she heard me speak, I guess, and we introduced ourselves to each other. She came up to me and she said, I like what you do. I want you to do something else for me. So anywho, I did something else in the flow, family. Okay. Did something else for her. whatever you need me to do, whatever. Yeah, I'm in the flow, family. I did it. Synchronicity. I can't, I could not have told my friend, call me on this day. You understand? I couldn't orchestrate it. This is God in sync, being in sync when you're in the flow. I'm consistent. I do this work every day. I get on this podcast every week. I talk to my clients. I empower them every day. You hear what I say? In the flow, in the flow. Okay, so then from that situation, after I do the thing that she has me do, then she sends me a message. And this happened last week. She sent me a message. Well, this was a month ago. And she said, oh, listen, I thought about you. There is this event where they're asking for vendors of women-owned companies. And she said, you have products, correct? Absolutely. Y'all, I'm in the flow. You hear me? Absolutely. So she said, okay, well, let's see. I want to see if I can get you a table there. Family, I couldn't do this for myself. Do you understand? In the flow, I could do in a line. I couldn't do it for myself. I wouldn't have known what to do. I wouldn't have who to call, how to. She said they have 13,000 employees. So whatever you have that you are selling, because she believes in me, got me? She sees them because she sees I know my stuff. You understand? She ain't ashamed to send me nowhere. Okay, family. You hear what I'm saying? In the flow. They got 13,000 employees. And I'm going to see if I can get you a table there. Hallelujah. Got me a table there. And family, when I tell you, let me tell you something. I didn't stop it, because years ago, when I, as a vendor, I haven't really did too much vendoring, maybe a few times before. But usually when I would have my book signings, I could always, I always wanted to sell my stuff, right? If I had book signings or if I'm speaking somewhere, I can actually vendor, but actually me just showing up by myself as a vendor, I've done it maybe a few times before. And those times I've always felt like I needed somebody else there. Okay. So like, let's say if I'm talking to somebody or I'm trying to sell, you need somebody that's ringing up the stuff, putting the stuff in bags and doing all those things. Well, so let me tell you, that's what fear is, right? Because on this time, okay, last week, all right, when it was time for me to go and do this event, when that little fear popped up like, oh my gosh, you're going to need to ask somebody else to come and help you. There was nothing in my spirit that said, yeah, that was swimming upstream, okay? Because the second thought of, well, who? And then who going to take off? Then how much do I have to pay? That was swimming upstream, family. I said, oh, no, Andrea. You are going with the flow. And let me tell y'all what Andrea did. She packed her stuff up, okay? She packed it all up. She drove there, 2 trips into the building, and it was some far trips, and it was a little hot, and I was doing a little sweat, and I got a little moist, okay? However, nothing that a little paper towel and pat down wasn't going to fix. But I pulled up, you hear me? And when I tell you the table that God had me sitting at, in position, all right, in the middle of the cafeteria by all the doors, so I could not be missed. And I'm just telling you what it feels like for me to be in flow. I couldn't have called these people before and said, put me here, put me there. I wouldn't even have known where and what it was. God, in sync, synchronicity, being in the flow, family, had me in position. Do you hear what I say? And the 2 tables that were already set up to be sitting right next to me, they didn't even show up. So when I said I had prime real estate, okay, in the flow. And here I go. This is so important. And then I'm done. And usually when you're a vendor, you have to pay, okay, for that real estate. So there's usually a fee. No fee. Do you hear what I say? You hear what I'm talking about when you're in sync and you're in flow and God is showing you, listen, trust me. I didn't pay one fee. Do you hear me? And when I tell you I sold out of almost everything, I sold out almost everything. And I could not plan it. So, family, I am encouraging you to get in your flow. Stop swimming upstream. Get in alignment. Number one, get quiet and ask yourself, journal, meditate. Ask yourself, what is it that I want? What is it that I dream of? What is it? Get clear about it. Number two, set some goals with some actionable steps. And usually those goals should be aligned with your values. Number three, once you get those steps together, you start walking consistently. Be consistent. Don't worry about being perfect. Be consistent. Number four, don't let fear come up. Don't let thinking about what other people say and what they do. Bump all that. Trust the process. Let go. Stop swimming upstream and flow. Let go of the side. Trust the flow of life. Trust the process. And then you will see, number five, synchronicity. You will see God show up. Okay, family, I love this for you because I love it for me. So I love it for you. And I love me some you. So that is another episode of the Mental Health is a Lifestyle podcast with your girl, Andrea Wise-Brown, and family. I will see you next week on the next episode.